Alright, and welcome back. So last time I was taking a look at the signature equipment for this character, and well, it was really good, and it did improve the performance a lot. Well, now the question remains, how good is the free-to-play equipment? Well, I am about to find out. I'll be using the game's recommended economic set, which you can see here on the screen. And I find it really weird that the beginner and the economic sets are almost identical. I don't know why is that, but well, it will be interesting. The only difference is the main weapon, which is well, I think it's a upgrade over the 4-star one, but again, we will see. And so far, the effects for the free-to-play set and effects for the recommended signature set are very different. And the signature sets, by sheer data, by stats, are way more superior than compared to the economic and beginner sets. And that kind of worries me a bit, since that might mean that the performance will be a lot different. Well, let me just take the proper weapon, and then I think I can start with this. Okay, the weapon is equipped. The weapon is, I think, pretty decent, or should I say average. And the stigmas are already set in place. Everything is ready to start. Of course, the character is maxed out. All the skills are maxed out. And of course, the character is fully leveled. And also the character is on the triple S rank. Well then, I think it's time to start. Well, since this is a active QTE support character, pretty much a new style of QTE has been introduced into the game with this character. A style that we did see in another game that I play. Pretty much it is the exact same QTE style than in that other game that I play. And that means you don't have to switch the character in. The character can remain in the background. You can tap on the icon when the time comes, and then the character will do the character's thing, and you will stay in your primary DPS. And of course, that way you will not lose important seconds, and that way you will not lose time, and you will not lose score points switching in and switching out. So that's one of the technical advantages that most of the viewers on this channel probably know. Mostly because there is another game that also has that feature, and that other game has that feature pretty much since its release a couple months ago. And well, the developers of this game implemented that feature in this current version update on that character, which is okay. It is a good feature, and overall a good mechanic. It improves performance a lot. And so far, I can be honest, and I will say that there is a difference between the signature weapon and signature set, and between the free-to-play one. I feel like I lack 20,000 attacks, 20,000 attack on the critical with this set. Now, I remember I was doing around 80,000 per 90 or 90,000 or even 100,000 damage per hit in ultimate, and here now I'm doing like 50,000, 60,000, which is pretty much almost I lost half my DPS almost when I switched to the free-to-play gear, which is really interesting. Of course, sometimes the critical will still hit over 300,000 because the character by default can hit over 250,000 points, 250,000 damage without any support. So there is still a buff, but the buff will not be as much compared to the signature set. The signature set is just way more superior than compared to the free-to-play one. So far that I've seen. Later on it will be interesting to test out the same set in Memorial Arena, and then I will also switch to the signature set, and then I can compare the scores, and then I can see what the actual difference in score would be. But so far over here, this free-to-play set does increase and does help. but the signature set will be way better, and of course will be more powerful than this one. And I really don't know why they choose those stigmas. That's pretty much forcing some people to go for the signature sets because there is no alternative farmable 5-star set. And honestly, now when I think about it, I am not quite a fan of that. I'm not a honestly not I'm not happy about that. Although they're doing good. These current stigmas are doing good. They're not comparable to the 5-star signature set in terms of raw buffs. That's definitely one thing that I can notice from using the character. And not happy. I'm not satisfied at all that they did that. They could have released other 5-star memories that are 5-star stigmas that are farmable, but they didn't. And maybe they will do that in the next update. I have no idea. But so far, the free-to-play set is doing a decent job. Although the lack of DPS and the lack of buff is definitely noticeable. I definitely notice it, and it's safe to say that the difference will be drastic between the free-to-play one and the signature one. So this is something that will be shown in the Memorial Arena run that I'll do after this one. And so far, but still, it does a good job. But it's not comparable to the signature set in terms of raw support. And unfortunately, besides these sets that is currently in the game, I think there is no alternative to the signature set. Again, I think that's not a good move because it will pretty much force people to get the signature set, and I'm not happy about that. But it is what it is. So in the end, it will be I'll see a difference between the actual difference in score in the Memorial Arena. I think it will be around 2,000 points. That's pretty much like my raw expectation on what will happen. I expect with the free-to-play set I'll get around 26,000 points, and with the free-to-play set I'll get 26,000 points, and with the signature set I will get 28,000 points. That's pretty much my expectations on what will happen. But so far, Abyss is pretty doable, pretty playable, not much of a problem. You will still get increased DPS, and I guess that's good. And so far, it does work, and it does make everything a little bit easier. And I guess if people are looking for that, well, the free-to-play set will definitely deliver that. But don't expect huge buffs with the free-to-play set. The major buffs will come from the signature set, and definitely since there is no 5-star alternative at the moment, the free-to-play 4-star stigmas are going to be one of your only choices to equip on the character for support, which is I already stated my opinion on that and what I feel about that. But anyway, so far I'm doing good damage on these. Definitely a huge difference is present here, since I remember the enemies being a lot less tanky, and they were a lot easier to take out when I used the signature equipment with the Randall, of course. And that's kind of to be expected, I guess. It was to be expected, and I expected a big difference since when I saw the 4-star stigmas, I immediately thought, well, this is gonna be fun. And well, I wasn't wrong. I was pretty right about that. So that's interesting. Well, I think after this one I will jump on Memorial Arena, and then it will be really interesting. I think I'll be fighting Helmaro, since that boss is the only boss currently that is good to compare stuff on. The other bosses are pretty much all elemental, and since I need physical for these characters, I will choose Helmaro. Although Helmaro is weak against ice, I will not use a ice character. He is neutral towards physical, so it will not be a big problem when I use a physical team on Helmaro. Well then, yeah, this is the final Abyss run, by the way. After that, I'll jump on Memorial Arena, and then, well, then it will be really interesting to see the differences between the two sets. But so far, well, it does help. I'm not satisfied with the performance of the free-to-play set. And keep in mind, I am using the recommended set. I usually like to keep everything recommended so that people don't get confused by anything. So this will be the recommended set, the recommended free-to-play set for this Valkyrie. And well, Ronald being Ronald, and of course Sally being Sally, they're doing their job so far. Not a big problem. And so far, you can, like, it's definitely helpful to have the character on team, even in the free-to-play mode. But the signature will just deliver a better performance. In this case, a way better performance. So I really hope that the developers in the future add another economic option for the Valkyrie, because the current one, while it does do the job, I am not happy with it. I am not satisfied with it. While it does do a good job, it is not enough. It is not enough. Depends from perspective, of course. It will give you a buff, but the buff will be minor. Well then, Helmaru. Well, of course, the first run will be using the free-to-play set, and the second run will be me using the second part will be me using the signature set. And well, so far, I mean, it's doing a good job, good damage. I had a good start, and so far there is no problems. Of course, the damage, you can even compare the timing and the times between. Now you can even look at the damage that I do before the first minute mark, and you will see a big difference between the free-to-play set and the signature set, which again is to be expected. But it will be really interesting to see how much health I'll take out on Helmaru before the 1 minute mark. And then I can compare the same thing on the signature set, and then you can see the difference in raw damage in that perspective. Well, first minute mark, and well, I am halfway while I'm going down on the first health bar on this thing. And okay, well, that's noted. It will be interesting to see how much health I'll take out the second one with the signature set, of course. And well, so far, I mean, it does help. Although I will say it's kind of weird, because I remember getting around 25,000 to 26,000 without this Valkyrie. It will be really interesting to see how much I'll get now with a physical support. I would expect around 26,000, 26,000 and a half, something like that. We'll see. 26,500 or something. Again, so it will be uncovered in couple moments. But so far, the damage done is really decent, and so far I am, well, I mean, I am not quite satisfied with the buff, but it does get the job done, so I guess that's a good thing. It does get the job done. And let's see, 2 minute mark, boss almost going down, okay. And let's see, boss almost down. 2 minutes, I think it will be 2 minutes and 10 seconds when the boss will die. Well, 2 minutes and 11 seconds, okay. Well, 2 minutes and 11 seconds with the free-to-play set, and let's see the score. I think it will be around 26,000 points, but let's see, yep, 26,000 points, alright, there we go, 26,600, oh, the quadruple 6 is there, that's not a good sign. Well then, now this will be the signature set, and let's see how much damage I'll do first before the 1 minute mark. So far, so good. I mean, the damage is significant. Per hit, I can notice more damage than usual, which is, again, to be expected, since 5-star stigmas are generally way more superior to 4-star stigmas. And unfortunately, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, ultimate is engaged, and let's see what will happen to the boss now. Well, 40 seconds left. I mean, 40 seconds into the fight, and 6 health bars. Interesting how. Oh, there we go. Well, well, 4 helpers before the 1 minute mark, almost 3 helpers. Well, that's a 1.5 health bar difference between the signature and the free-to-play set, which is not a small number. It is quite significant. That's a big difference actually. That's a really big difference. And well, let's see. Last run was 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Let's see how long this run will be. I would say around 2 minutes. But again, I'm about to find out. Let's see. Well, maybe it will be even before 2 minutes. Oh my god, that's a big difference. Well, that's a whole 40-second difference. My god, that's a big difference. 40 seconds. That's not a small number. And 28. Well, there we go. I was exactly on point with the points. Interesting, very interesting. Well, I think that answers the question. The signature set is way more superior than compared to the free-to-play one. A big difference between these two sets. Major difference in seconds. 40 seconds difference is not a small number. That's almost a full minute difference, and that will cost a lot of points. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful, and as always, I'll see you next time. Take care.